Hello guys, welcome to the fourth episode of manual driving tutorial series. In this episode, we will learn how to perform floaty drift, what is the objective of performing that, and when should we perform that. So let's begin. So the main objective of performing floaty drift is that you do not lose much speed in the corners, and as soon as you take the corner, you can immediately take a shockwave and get up to speed within seconds or milliseconds, which is not possible when you take the turn while drifting unless the car's nitro efficiency is very good. So let's compare the speed of a car when we do a floaty versus when we do not do a floaty. So here I have taken example of Triumph Nemesis, which I believe is a free to play car, and most people would have at least unlocked it. So let me show you first of all what is the speed with the floaty, and then I will show you what is the speed with when we don't do a floaty. So here you can see I'm taking the turn at almost 400 kilometers per hour, and then I'm immediately able to shockwave, so it means I'm not losing much speed. Now let's see what our speed becomes when we don't do a floaty. So here I'm going to take this turn without a floaty and notice my speed. So it drops to almost 300. So you can see the difference between floaty and not doing a floaty. Okay, so now let me tell you how to perform a floaty. So if the turn is coming to your left, then you have to rotate the car in opposite direction, which means you have to perform a clockwise floaty like this. And if the turn is coming to your right, then you have to turn your car to the left, which means you have to perform an anti-clockwise floaty like this turn. Okay, the next question which will come in your mind is how do you control in which direction the car will turn? Okay, so this is a bit tricky and it will come with practice, but let me tell you first of all in theory how it will turn. Okay, so here the turn is coming to the left, so I have to make sure I rotate the car in opposite direction, which means I rotate in the clockwise direction. So how do I make sure that? So when you're about to do a clockwise floaty, which means a clockwise 360, so what you have to do first is you have to move the car towards the right. And when I say move the car towards the right, what I mean is move the car not more than 5 or 10 degrees maximum, and not for more than half a second or maybe maximum 1 second, and then immediately you do a 360. You will find your car will rotate in a clockwise direction always. And just do the opposite thing for a anti-clockwise floaty, which means just move the car slightly towards the left for maybe 1 second and then immediately perform a 360. So here you can see the next turn is coming to the left, so I am rotating my car slightly to the right, like it's almost unnoticeable, and then I immediately do a 360. So it is like within milliseconds, not even 1 second. Okay, so let's see this next turn coming up ahead. So at 25.458 seconds, I just start turning my car to the right. And at 25.664 seconds, I press the 360. So that is how short you have to turn your car, that it's almost unnoticeable. But this will always make sure that you rotate your car in the right direction, either clockwise or anti-clockwise depending upon the situation. So just keep practicing and you will get a hold of it. So you might have noticed and figured out by now that I'm only using cars with very high top speed. That is exactly my next point. So do not care to perform floaties with very low top speed cars. Like most of the D class and C class cars are with low top speed. So do not perform floaties with them. That will give a negative impact, which means your car speed will actually reduce if you try to perform floaty with them. Just try to do it and you will know what I am saying. Next point regarding floaty is that do not perform floaties with cars which have very high top speed but very bad drift radius. For example, so here I am using Fenrir Super Sport, which has a very good top speed, but when I try to perform floaty with it, you can see how wide the car starts going and the speed keeps on reducing, like I almost hit the wall. So the point is, don't perform floaties with such cars. So here I am using Tuatara. It also does not have as good drift radius as Jesco or Venom, but still it's not as bad as Fenrir. So such cars can also perform floaties without losing much speed. Okay, one more thing. So here you can see when I try to perform floaty with Jesco, my speed drops to 375. So what I want to say is, It's not necessary every time you will get a perfect floaty. Even I don't get a perfect floaty every time. So in this video I just didn't want to show all the perfect floaties I made and give you impression that you will always get a perfect speed with the perfect floaty. So people do make mistakes. I just wanted to show more realistic floaties which you will make while playing the game, and not just all the perfect ones. And yes, in this video I have only shown Shanghai, but you can make floaties on other tracks as well. It's just for illustration I showed Shanghai. Okay, now the last point is only perform floaties where the turn is not more than 90 degrees. So here you can see the last turn of tunnel jam is coming up, and when I try to perform floaty, I almost hit the wall, and moreover I lose a lot of speed. So there is no point in performing floaties with such turns, even if you are driving a very good car. So let's summarize all the points which we have discussed in this video. First point is, when you want to perform a floaty, you turn the car slightly right or left depending upon clockwise or anti-clockwise, and immediately hit a shock wave. Second point is, you should only perform floaties with cars which have very good top speed or very good drift radius, or both. The next point is, when you start doing a floaty, your car should already be at a very good speed, otherwise you will end up losing a lot of speed. The fourth point is, do not perform floaties where the turn angle is more than 90 degrees, otherwise you will again lose a lot of speed. The last point is, do not perform floaties with cars having good nitro efficiency. For example, McLaren Senna, Vanda Electric's Dendrobian, Pagani Huayra BC, Lamborghini Huracan Evo Spider, Porsche 911 GT3 RS, etc, etc. Drifting on the turns and just going with the nitro is much better in these cars rather than going for a floaty. So guys, hope you learned something useful today, and you will be able to improve your time in TLEs as well as multiplayer once you get your hands on how to perform floaties. So if you found this video useful, then only hit the subscribe button. Otherwise don't hit the subscribe button, you can unsubscribe. So take care guys, good luck, and see you in the next video. Bye bye.